Good morning, dear students. I hope you are taking care of yourself, staying home, to be safe, and going through the materials which we are providing to you, either whether it's on the YouTube channel of the Mercy Sandipani schools, or else whatever we are having the live sessions and discussing, or else clearing out the doubts. So we have already started with chapter number 9, and we are on to the last part of chapter number 9, that is forest and wildlife resources. Let us see what we have covered into the previous video. We have seen different types of schemes which the government has came to protect different animals. In that scheme, we have seen the first scheme was about the protecting of the tigers. So tiger project scheme was there. Then we have seen about the crocodile project. Then we have seen the rhino project. Then we have seen about the elephant project, and the last was about the snow leopard project. Why these different schemes for different animals came? Why did the government started the different schemes? The thing behind starting the different schemes was that there were a number of animals which are being endangered by the human beings, either for getting the medicines by killing the animals, or else some of the animals were being killed for taking their taking the skins, or else for making the perfumes and so on. So the government came with different projects. They have come with different rules and regulations, and people are being made to follow for these rules and regulations strictly. If anybody was been caught or has been found prohibiting following these rules and regulations, then stricter actions were being taken by the government. Today we will be looking in this session about the sanctuaries, national park and bioreserves. We know that these three are, if you look it out about these three words, that is sanctuary, national park and bioreserves, then these are going similar to you in your mind, that this might be similar. But there is some of the differences in terms of sanctuary, national park and bioreserves. First of all, let us see what is there into sanctuary. What is the meaning of the term sanctuary? It says it is those protected areas to protect and conserve wild animals which are facing the danger of extinction. So what is the meaning of the term sanctuary? It is said like it is the protected areas. Why they have made sanctuaries? Because to protect and conserve wild animals which are facing the danger of extinctions. Means there might be a time come where we may not find the animals in those wild animals which were being found earlier in India, but which we would not find into the current generations. So the government is coming with different kinds of reserves and different kinds of schemes to protect the wild animals. So let us further see what is there into the sanctuaries. It says human activities are permitted with certain limit. Okay, in sanctuaries it is not likely that all the human beings or else human activities are prohibited. No, it is not like that. Human activities are given some of the permissions, but there is some limitations also for the human activities. Either they are not supposed to harm any of the trees, or they are not supposed to harm or cut down the trees, or they have to take care as and when they are moving into these areas. Second, domestic animals can be allowed to graze after due permission from the authorities. Yes, in this chapter we have seen that in some of the forests the government are giving the permissions for grazing the animals. We have seen into the state forest that the government are not giving the permissions for the grazing of the animals. But in other forests the governments are giving certain limitations for grazing of the animals. The same it is being stated over here in sanctuaries that domestic animals are given the permissions for grazing, but they have to follow certain rules and regulations with certain limitations. Wildlife sanctuaries established for the protection of some species. Why wildlife sanctuaries has been established, or why the government has came with the wildlife sanctuaries? We are knowing that because of the protecting of certain species of animals, because their endanger has been there for these animals by the human beings. So government are coming with different schemes and projects. The sanctuary can be established by the government after certain process. Periyar, Chandraprabha, Rangaram, etc. are famous sanctuaries. So what are the sanctuaries which are found in India or else here? So first is they are saying that is Periyar. Second they are saying Chandraprabha. There are Periyar, Chandraprabha, and there are different sanctuaries which the government has started for protecting of the wildlife animals. So there are more than these sanctuaries which are being followed or which are being taken care by the government. Second, we will be looking about the national park. So let us see what comes into the national park. What is the differences which we would see into national park as what we have not seen into the sanctuaries. There might be some of the differentiation in terms of sanctuary as well as into the national park. So it says compared to sanctuary, this is more protected zone. So it says national park is more protected zone as what we have seen into the unclassified forest. If you recall, we have seen that unclassified forests are still not classified. There is no restrictions in collection of the woods for animal grazings and so on. So here national park, it says it is a protected zone. As what to sanctuary, it is not that much. There are certain limitations and there are certain freedom is also given to the people for animal grazing and so on. But compared to sanctuary, in national park it is said it is a protected zone compared to sanctuary. More than one ecosystem included here. It says there is more than one ecosystem which has been there into the national park. There is a complete ban on animal grazing. In sanctuaries, we have seen that animals are given, domestic animals are given permission for grazing by the shepherds. But in national park, there is prohibition or prohibited for animal grazing. Shepherds cannot take their animals into the national park for animal grazing. Further it says, it is not centered around one species as it is in sanctuary. National park, it says, like it is not centered, it is not at one place as what we see into the sanctuaries. It is on through the vast land. It is established through the coordination of the state and the central government. So how this national park is being created? With the help of coordination of central and state government. So national park is being made or is being established with the coordination of the central and the state government. There are different national parks which we are saying. First is the Kaziranga National Park, Corbett National Park, Velavadar, Marine National Park, Gir, Dachigam, etc. are important national parks. So these are one of the most important national parks which have been stated into the books. The first one is the Kaziranga, then is the Gir National Park, Corbett National Park, Velavadar National Park, and so on. And the last one, the third one we will be looking, that is the Bio Reserve Zone. So let us see what is the difference between all these three in comparison to the freedom given to the people and other stuff. So in Bioreserve Zone, what is there? It is formed according to international norms. It is said Bioreserve Zone. It is formed with the conditions or else with the rules and regulations with the international rules and regulations. The purpose is to protect the physical and cultural diversity of any region. What is the main reason for the Bioreserve project? It says its main purpose is to protect the physical and cultural diversity of any region. Besides the vegetation, insects and land of that area, the lifestyle of the people living there is also being protected. Yes, in the Bioreserve Zone we have seen that the lifestyle of the people is also been included and it is being protected. That what we have not seen into the sanctuaries and into the national park. Further it says Nilgiri, Gulf of Mannar, Great Nicobar, Sundarban, Panchmadi, etc. are considered to be the important bioreserves of the nations. The Run of Kutch of Gujarat was declared as a bioreserve zone in 2008 for the protection of its special environmental conditions. So these were the points which are being covered into the bioreserve zone. It says example there are given, there is a Run of Kutch which was been established in 2008. In this video we have seen like what is the difference between the sanctuaries, national park and bioreserve zone. So students, this is the end of the chapter number 9. And let us recall what are there into the chapter number 9. Quickly we will have certain quick revision of this chapter. First we have seen what is the meaning of the term natural vegetations. Then we have seen what are the different types of forests according to administrations. There are 3 types of forests according to the administrations. That is the reserve forest, protected forest and unclassified forest. Further we have seen the classification of forests according to management, ownership and administrations. After that, we have seen the meaning of the term deforestation, impact of deforestation, and what are the remedies or measures for the forest conservation. There were some points which we have already discussed. Then we moved ahead towards the animal wildlife diversity, the number of animals found in India and so on. Then we have seen about the different projects as well as the difference. We have seen about the sanctuaries, national park and bio reserve. So this is the end of the chapter. The topics which we have covered, I will be sending you the PDF. And if you have any kind of the doubts regarding to any of the topics which will be covering into the live sessions, till then you please take care of yourself, and we'll be meeting into the live sessions regarding any of the doubt. Be safe, thank you, and have a nice day.